What's good, Jax?
Let's get it poppin' in Jacksonville with the black and the teal. When we get the
What's good, Jax?
Yeah. What's good, Jacksonville? It's your host and founder of What's Good, Jax, Matthew Spinopoulos. Got your DJ in the house. It's DJ Jackson, Jaxcin. Very special guest on air. We got Jacob from the 904 Coffee. He's gonna be bringing that drip. As always, let's get it poppin'.
Oh yeah.
What's going on? It's your boy 904 Coffee, aka Cafe Poppy, aka Jacob. No one calls me Cafe Poppy though.
All right, so you slinging caffeine today? What are you doing? You brought me some good coffee. Jacob was nice enough to stop by a local coffee shop and bring me some coffee. What is this, Jacob?
Yeah, man, I went in there because I only drink icy coffee. Which, if anyone ever asks you what icy coffee is, it's just iced coffee. But my friend spelled it wrong one day when she was telling me to get some, and it's all it is. It's just some pour over icy coffee. That's a new wave.
Bro, I am so hyper right now. I went through like half of this. This caffeine is ridiculous. You guys, if you want to wake up, go off South Side
to Brass Tacks.
Jacob, who do you recommend seeing there, man? Do you have any connections at that coffee shop?
Man, at Brass Tacks, I mean, everyone's so cool there. They don't know me. It's cool. They don't know me, but a few of them do.
Bro, you gotta introduce yourself. Tell them.
I do. No, I go in and I'm like, yo, my stickers are like in the very front of the store. Like they sell my stickers. It's cool, but they're my people. Definitely go to Brass Tacks. Brass Tacks is always popping, and it's like they're like that Wiz Khalifa song, like but in a coffee shop, black and yellow.
Black and yellow. Yeah, I was gonna say I love stopping by there. So how long you been in the coffee biz, man?
You mean do you like my actual job or
nah?
Like
okay, so how long you been doing coffee?
Oh man, so I've only been actively drinking coffee for I moved to Jacksonville in 2015. I've been at Starbucks. That's 2019. That's 4 years. That's math. So yeah, 4 years. 4 years.
Calculated. 4 years. That's awesome, bro. So you're at working at Starbucks now. You're a barista.
Yeah, man. Green Apron Squad till I die.
Green Apron.
I worked at Good though for a while.
Aren't they like? Doesn't everybody like hate Starbucks though? For being like the corporate America.
You know what's so funny? All these local coffee shops need to pay homage to Starbucks because they put it on the scene. No, it's
True.
cool.
I can't really disagree there.
Yeah, man. But people who hate on Starbucks are usually like just kids. It's like only people I hear about. Oh man, Starbucks coffee tastes like dishwater. I'm like, what do you even know about anything? You just come there. It's just for sweet stuff.
But I will say, there's coffee. So you only drink iced coffee. Do you ever go for a hot cup of black?
Yeah,
Java.
Oh, definitely. Before I drink things, like my coffee of choice is icy coffee, iced coffee, whatever. But when
I just can't take you seriously when you call it icy coffee.
Yeah, dude, it's icy coffee.
I love it. I'm adopting it though.
Yeah, man. We're gonna get stickers, maybe. We're gonna do a whole thing. But when I first drink coffee, like when I'm out, like trying to be professional about things, I do black coffee to look cool. And then
to look cool.
Yeah, to look cool. So
for
then
the pictures, for the gram.
Yeah, for the gram. And then when people are done,
I was gonna ask because I see that's what all I see on your Instagram is black coffee or like the classic.
Yeah,
lattes.
definitely. But like when I get done, like being a poser and stuff, I put my cream and my sugar in it. Cause I'm not cool. I'm not tough. I can't drink just black coffee. But I do that to get the flavor. Oh yeah, dude.
That's the best kind of tea, by the way.
I'm an open book, man.
Honesty.
Honest tea is the best tea.
Lame jokes all day.
No, man. This guy's
Oh, we got the police at the door. Police, come on in. You got a warrant. Uh-oh. That was just our DJ. DJ Jamie broke down the door. All right, back on live. So, Jacob, man, tell me what's good, bro. What's the latest? What's your favorite coffee place to drink in Jax right now?
Man, see, I was prepared for this question because people always ask me that. But since I'm 904 Coffee, I can't be very biased. So I like to flip it. I'm very fond of many coffee shops in Jax. My top 3 right now, as far as fondness goes, in no order. Oh man, Vagabond Coffee. I don't say Bold Bean anymore because they get too much shine for being the originals in Jacksonville. Social Grounds. Shout out to, did I say
Social Grounds?
Social Grounds. Yeah, I got to make sure I get my right, adjectives for coffee. Social Grounds. Shout out to them. And then even though they're not a coffee shop, Good Dough. Good Dough with big homies.
Okay. So they make some good icy coffee?
Good Dough?
Yeah.
No, dude. But, everyone there, as far as I have a scale of like how I grade places. Mm-hmm. If your product isn't great, but your staff is super friendly and their customer service is top notch, I'm fine if the product's not great. But if your staff,
so do you have a scale? Do you measure the coffee places at all? Do you leave a rating?
Oh, definitely, yeah. And it's only those two things. Customer service and product. You can't have both bad service and a bad product.
It should also be the vibe and the atmosphere.
Yeah.
Right? Is it a good working environment? Is it good to relax in it? Because some coffee shops, like the one out in Green Cove, I believe it was. I'm trying to think of the name of it, but they have games and stuff you can play in there.
Is it Spring Park?
Yes, I think that's exactly where it is. Spring Park Coffee.
That's Brass Tack's brother, dude.
Yeah,
same guy.
That's exactly same owner. Same owner.
Shout out.
Shout out.
But vibes. Coffee shop vibes is so important. That's why I started 904 Coffee. That's kind of why I started 904 Coffee. Was because I just wanted to make it. I wanted everywhere to have that kind of vibe, and I was just on Instagram all the time, and I was just taking pictures of coffee, but it was super lame at first. And no one cared. But do you guys have a website too? I am currently working on it, and by I mean it's being worked on by a good friend of mine, Sandro Young. He runs Dusty Nomad. Shout out to him. He designed my logo.
Awesome,
big time.
It's a nice logo.
Oh man, thanks, Sandro.
It fits perfectly.
Thanks,
that 904, the bean in the middle.
Sandro,
y'all go check out the 904. Show us your Instagram again? 904 Coffee. Just as simple as that.
Simple as that.
If you can't spell coffee, then it's COFFEE.
Heck yeah.
It's like the drink, but not spelled the same.
904 Boffy.
So we're going to talk about doing a freestyle later. I think we have a wrap up that we're gonna do. You're gonna do the freestyle challenge with us today?
I'll do my best. I can't rap. I can't. I mean.
Everybody says that.
Yeah, man. It's funny. That's my least skillful skill.
I suck too, but that's kind of the best part. Is if we were good, I think that we would probably be just good enough to sound okay. But the fact that we suck is kind of makes it.
We just need a sick beat and a following, and we're good.
Exactly.
We're out of
Yeah, boy.
Speaking of sick beats, we got the DJ in the house. DJ Jackson, JAXCIN. Appreciate you coming through and dropping the sick beats for us.
Hit it.
This is what we like to call Timmy Turn Up time. Ba-da-ba. That 904 Coffee exclusive. The best job in the 904. Can't make any roasted jokes.
I'll be back.
They call them bro beans. Peace is all protein.
Bars. Simply bars. Drop a mixtape already.
Man, we going
set the city on fire.
Set the city on fire. All right, back with the sickness. So, Jacob.
Yeah.
Man, are you a Jacksonville native? How long you been in Jax, bro?
No, man. I have been in Jacksonville for maybe 4 years. I got here at the end, December 30th of 2014. It was New Year's the day, or it was the New Year's week that I got here.
Where you from, bro?
I'm from Michigan. I was born in Detroit. My mom was born and raised in Detroit, but when I was a tot, we left because it was falling apart. There's a movie about how Detroit was like.
Really? I thought Detroit's economy is booming right now.
Nah, man, Detroit's like a war zone.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Nah, it's
Yeah,
a war zone.
it's sad over there, man.
The potholes in Detroit will eat your whole car.
Jesus.
It's wild. Yeah, it's wild. So my mom was like, "Hey, we're gonna leave," and we left. And it's a real. And then I lived in these small towns. Some of the neighborhoods in Jacksonville are the size of the towns that I lived in. And I never even really understood anything outside of that because they were like small, like farming communities. I was like the only black kid for like miles. For like cities or towns. I was like the one. Like, what's that on South Park? What's that kid's name? Token. Yeah. That was me. I was Token, you know? And then I came to Jacksonville.
Bro, but that made you popular, I'm sure.
Yeah, but
everybody wants to.
No, man. I never actually understood racism until, you know, I started getting older. You know, no one was really like. There was really
those of you who can't pick up on the voice. Jacob is black.
Yeah, I'm black. Yeah, that's another thing.
African American.
Yeah, that's so crazy. Cause when I got to like high school, like kids would say I talk so white, and I'm like, I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, you're gonna
like,
shock the audience when I just told them that you're black.
Yeah, I'm like, what? You don't get to trademark or like put your stamp on proper English,
right?
You know. And I would tell people that I'm like, why do you say I talk white? Because I don't sound like your BET shows.
That's what they call the resume voice or the interview.
It's so weird, and it's so weird to like hear people say, "Oh, you the." I would always get really mad sometimes in high school when I was like growing up. There was this kid, and she would say like, or her brother would say like, you're the whitest black kid I know. I'm like, you don't know any other black kids. You know, I'm the only black kid you know.
Yeah. I was gonna say, man, it's just a limited point of view, man. People's paradigms are very small. I come from a small town in Tennessee, so you know we didn't have many I'd say black kids going to school where I come from, but like I got a good mixture when I came here. So like I actually went to Highlands Middle School here in Jacksonville, which if you know what Highlands Middle School is, back in the day, like before it was like one of the worst schools. Majority black, but it was cool. It was like a culture shock for me. So like I'm used to wearing like this Abercrombie. I'm like in 8th grade wearing this Abercrombie outfit. Yeah. And then go to Highlands Middle and I'm like, wow. Yeah. I got picked on so hard. Yeah. Me as a little preppy white kid going to school. So I had to like, I mean, it goes both ways, man. I was like, went to a school that was all white my whole life and then got dropped in, you know, it was majority black, which was cool. It was a different experience. But you know, I got a lot of black friends.
I totally get it.
So it says every white guy.
Yeah, it's so funny. Yeah, but like, I moved here. But yeah, when I moved here to Jacksonville, it was such a culture shock because this is the biggest place, and Jacksonville is huge, so it's kind of weird to say this is the biggest city
area-wise in the continental United States.
Yeah, but you gotta understand, like when I try to explain to my friends, like my high school, like better way to put it, kids who graduate from like Jacksonville high schools, their graduating class is like half the population of all the towns that I grew up in. So I come here and this is such a big place. There's people speaking languages that isn't like poser Southern. When I say like poser Southern, I mean like kids who grew up in the North and they talk like they're from deep South.
Listen to too much Luke Bryan.
Yeah, like you guys have never been outside of the city limits, you know? And so it was kind of weird for me at first because I never met like Haitian people and like people who spoke the Arabic language. And it's like...
Jacksonville's a melting pot, man.
Dude, Jacksonville is such a
melting pot. We got everything.
Pot. It's the best thing ever. And I love this city so much. And I had one teacher who would always tell us to get out of this town, like where I was at. He would say, you guys, when you graduate, need to leave. You know? Because when you're only... And they were all...
How old are you now?
I'm 23.
Yeah, so still young. So you're fresh out of high school. Still kind of, you know?
Yeah. And I get really excited talking about this kind of stuff because now as a 23-year-old, I'm kind of my mom will always laugh at me, but I feel like I'm just now kind of starting to get stuff. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm starting to understand. I don't want to say how things should be or like how they are, but to think back when I was younger and to think about it now, like, oh, now I get what someone told me like 6 years ago. Like, you should get out of this town and go see stuff. Because a lot of the kids I left when I left Michigan, they're still there doing the same thing, or they have like 5 kids, and there's nothing wrong with having 5 kids.
A lot of people from Jax say the same thing. They feel like they have to get out of Jax, but they don't know how good they have it here.
I hear that. Oh man, you don't know how mad that makes me when I tell people, like, yo,
me too, bro.
You don't understand. Yeah, like you from Jackson. When you're from Jacksonville, there's so much stuff. Oh man, Jacksonville's so boring. No, you don't know boring. You get mad because everything's closed by 10 or 11. Where I'm from, nothing was open past 7, you know? like cornfields for miles.
Have you had a chance to explore Florida? Have you went down to like Miami or?
I went to Miami. Oh man, I almost died when I went to Miami. Cause when I first got here, there was a Sam Smith concert, and I'm super into Sam. That's my dude. Sam Smith is like the best singer out. And we were in Miami. Me, my mom, my brother, my cousin, and a friend of ours were in Miami. And I'm just super awestruck because I'm still new to Florida, right? And it's the fact that it's like the middle of December, and it's 90 degrees or it's 80 degrees. And I'm just super fortunate to be able to say, what is it now? It's April, March? I don't know.
It's April.
It's
yeah,
April
1st.
April 1st. And it's like 70, 80 degrees outside. And all my friends from Michigan, and they're just dying because it's negative 30 degrees and stuff.
I say right now it's 57.
57.
57 degrees.
57.
I say it's hoodie weather for us Florida.
Yeah. And
Floridians.
I talk to my family, like my grandma and stuff, because I get really cold really easily now because I've acclimated. And they hate it. They laugh at me, and I'm like, I'm sorry, but if it gets any colder than 72,
I don't know how you guys last up there. It's pretty much Eskimo weather up there. Right
no, it's definitely Eskimo weather. It's negative 30 was the worst. Negative 30 was what drove me and my mom down here.
And the wind chill.
Yeah, man. You ever had chapped lips?
Yeah.
It's not good.
Time, yeah.
You ever had like your lips bleeding? That's
no,
intense.
not that.
Yeah, look, buddy. In negative
I'm really
30,
busy right now.
But my lips hurt real bad. You sicko? Bring me my chapstick.
No, Napoleon.
My chopstick.
that's so funny. But yeah, negative 30 degrees will chap your lips the minute you walk outside. It's a wrap for your lips. They're done. Yeah. Florida's
nice.
the best. I love this city.
Yeah. So, what's your favorite place to visit in Jacksonville? Since you're not a native, what was your favorite? Like, I don't know. What's your favorite place to hang out in Jackson? I know you said you like San Marco, but have you got a chance to check out? Have you ever been to the Landing? Have you?
Yeah, I wasn't.
Not a fan of the Landing, right?
No, I never really got to hang around it when it was popping. Was the Landing ever popping? I don't know.
Back in the day, dude, when I was a kid, so like Jacksonville, a lot of people don't know now. Like Jacksonville Landing used to be, like, I mean, there were so many, like, the food shop had like 25 different restaurants in it at one point. You know, all the shops were busy.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of died down. I don't know. People really don't shop anymore. I mean, you would think that it could be nicer, but I don't think it's going to be nicer to make it better because, like, you see even like the Avenues.
Yeah.
The Avenues Mall here in Jacksonville used to be really, really nice too. So did the Regency Mall. But Regency Mall kind of
I've heard that.
died out, and then Avenues is getting the same. But Town Center's thriving.
Oh, Town Center's popping.
Yeah, Town Center's popping.
Yeah, but I love San Marco. That's like my second home. San Marco is where I'm at if I'm not at my home actively. I dig Riverside. They're like the same thing, right? San Marco and Riverside, they're kind of like cousins.
They're very close together.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so weird how everything's kind of segregated out now. You got like South Side, you got Brooklyn area, you got Riverside, San Marco. It's kind of cool how everything's kind of segmented out. You kind of have to because everything's so big.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta have to, call different things nicknames. But yeah,
Yes.
Jacksonville's huge, man. So you like hanging out San Marco?
Yeah, San Marco, because
I
mostly
figured it'd be the beaches since you're from used to being in Michigan, but
yeah, it's so weird.
you guys got a bunch of lakes, right?
Yeah, there's a bunch of like lakes, and I want to say I think they're man-made. I'm from Michigan, I should know this stuff, but
I don't think they're man-made.
I'm stupid. No, man, they're faux. They're faux lakes.
Faux lakes.
They're faux lakes. But no, man, the beach is cool. My cousin comes down all the time and she stays at the beach. But I'm a homebody. Being out in the public and like I don't want to say dealing with people because that sounds bad. But I don't want to say I have anxiety because some people have really, really bad anxiety, and I feel like I'm like, I make them look bad for actually having anxiety. But I'm not as comfortable around big groups of people.
Yeah, it was hard for me when you start networking, especially when I started WhatsGoodJax. I had to like get out there and get in the public eye more. Dude, yeah. It was it's uncomfortable at first, but you kind of get used to it. I have a thing. I like people. And I like technology, so it kind of this fit perfectly. Yeah. But yeah, big groups of people, you can get lost. These networking groups that we have to go to. A lot of people you'll find stick to like the people they know, which is kind of weird. It's all cliquey. Yeah. When you go out, you think everybody be handshaking, handing as many cards out to random strangers as possible. But yeah, you gotta have to get out there and put yourself out there and be kind of forceful with it. Yeah. If you don't like people, it's gonna be, or you like people, but it's like you get anxiety. I get that feeling a lot.
Yeah, it's It's funny. It's funny that you say, because you literally said exactly how I feel. Like, I do like people. Don't get me wrong. But it's like a double-edged sword. I like people, but the thought and like knowing that I have to talk to people, it makes me really uneasy. Because I'm like you said earlier, I don't know if we were recording yet, but you said you're like your biggest critic.
Yeah, we
and
weren't
it's
recording.
like, it's like, what if I say something stupid? No, I'm going to say something stupid. How are they gonna feel? How are they gonna look at me? But that's something also like Nate Does Food. Shout out to him. He told me that like a long time ago when I first started like 904 coffeeing. He was like, we were doing something. It might have been Latte Throwdown, and he was like, "No, dude, just chill, just talk to people. Like you're overthinking it. Do it. Just do it. Yeah.
Just do it.
Oh, that's sick. That's so sick. But yeah, and that made so much sense to me. It took me a while. It took me like a long time to just be able to talk to people and to stop being so nervous about it. And I still get like deathly afraid of like
I think it kind of comes with age though. I mean, at first we always think like people are thinking about us, and stuff like that. But older people even tell you like you realize as time goes on, like people don't even really. I mean, they don't really think about you as much as you think, if at all. Yeah. Which is weird. You kind of that's why you can get comfortable like knowing like if you interview like any old person, they'll be like, "Yo, like just live your best life now," because like people don't think about you nearly as much, except like they don't remember what you say. Yeah. People just remember how you make them feel, which is why it's as long as you're genuine, which you are. I mean, you're one of the most chillest dudes we've had on the podcast, but I'm saying you come across well, so don't be nervous. Yeah, you got your whole life ahead of you. You got a great brand that you're building, here in Jacksonville. So I think you're on the right track. Don't be nervous. You're obviously getting out there with Nate Does Food. Nate Does Food is it's a big brand to work with. They're pushing.
Nate Does Food is like before I was like, I don't want to say popular. I'm still just like some scrub. But before, when I first made the 904 coffee thing, it was this little page. It was like called Dope Caffeine, and I still love that.
I love that Dope Caffeine.
Yeah, it was called Dope Caffeine, and it was like a picture of me holding like a Starbucks cup. It was like tea, but it was so cool, and I loved it. And I was like, oh man, I gotta do this. But I met Nate Does Food, and he kind of just put me. He literally put me on, like, and a lot of people in the scene, like the social media scene, hate on him. Like, so they'll never like come out and say it, but like, I'll talk to people, and sometimes I don't have a bunch of followers, but I have like a couple of like big followers, and I'll be talking to people when I'm not like puking or having a panic attack about it, or like when I'm just out and about, or like at work at Starbucks, people come talk to me and stuff, and they're like, oh, blah blah blah, you know Nate Does Food, and people will hate on him and stuff. And it's like,
what could you hate on that guy for? He does. I mean, he only thing he does is rep the city.
You know what it is though, and I understand. Not that I hate on him, but it's like when you talk to him, he's like Nate's so focused on like doing his thing, and he's like, if you ever message Nate,
and you know what, I have met Nate, and I got that impression that he was very focused. Yeah, which is cool that you said it that way. Yeah, because that was really honestly that's the best way I could have described him. Which is I was waiting to kind of put that in there. But yeah, you're right. He's very focused.
Yeah, he's very focused. And if you ask
comes across as arrogant, but it's not. It's just focused.
That's exactly. People have said that he's arrogant and stuff. Yeah. And it's like, I don't want to say he's arrogant, but it's easy for him to rub someone the wrong way if you don't understand. Like, I don't want to say understand the scene or the person, but he's just trying to do his thing. And he can seem like a bit much. Because like if you message Nate, he'll send you like a reply. But it's not like a full-on conversation. He's not, not that he's not trying to talk to you, but Nate's really busy doing his stuff.
And that's what a lot of people have to understand too. That's the people to try and get at me the same way, and even when we reached out to each other, like I have admin that helped me on my account. So it's not necessarily me. It comes through, to get to me but so I get it. Nate's busy. Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah. And I just want people to know, like, that's the thing with any of these accounts that you think you're trying to reach out to, and if they're not replying to you,
we're busy. We'll get to it,
Like, Nate Does Food.
He'll get back to you.
Yeah, they'll get back to you, and they can't, like, have conversations with you, like, full on like you want. Because, like, I try to do that, but I only have, like, 3,000 followers, so it's easy for me to talk to, like, the 12 people and have all these full conversations. But you got to imagine that they have hundreds of people trying to talk to them about miscellaneous stuff, and they can't do it. Like, Nate does food. Like, who else?
And even what he's doing right now, you got to think when you're running this page as a job. So Nate does it for a living.
Yeah, it's not for fun and games.
It's different than a hobby. So exactly, and that bridges the difference where you have to kind of look at it as being, a manager of your time.
Yeah.
Because when you're starting your own business, the biggest, you're working for yourself, but you're really working for your calendar.
Yeah,
you're
what I mean?
always. So if you don't stick to your calendar, let your calendar be your boss, then you're not really being professional. You're just being, a hobbyist that. It's like, and that was me for the longest time. So I mean, I can't point any fingers, but. That's why I built a team around me. So I say that one of my big people ask me all the time. They say, Matt, how do you do what you do and keep up with everything you're doing? And I said, look, I built a freaking team around me. I couldn't do it by myself.
Yeah.
And Nate is doing a really good job about building a team around him right now and keep him busy. So, people just don't understand until you're in the position. With great power comes great responsibility, but in order for people you can't just DM somebody and expect them to get back to you right away. You got to have, set the meeting. Like we set this up, a week ago?
Yeah.
So give us a week in advance to plan, so. But that's cool. I'm glad that you see it that way. You're tipping your toe. Now, how long have you had 904 Coffee open?
Shoot, I want to say maybe I'm on the second year. It's been, I'm not really sure what I'm actually doing with it because I'm still just posting pictures of coffee and coffee shops, and if I get a chance to do stuff with people. I've been doing it for about 2 years.
Yeah.
It's not like a job. It's cool. It would be great if it could be, but it's not really a job. It's like I said, it's like a hobby, which is why I can message people and shoot the breeze and, laugh and do all this stuff and post those weird stories I be posting and stuff.
Yeah.
So 2 years.
2 years. Well, that's that's a long. So how many followers do you have now?
Oh man, 3,400 and maybe 5.
That's awesome growth for 2 years. It's local following. We can get you more.
Oh,
are you building more content? Are you trying to do any videos?
Yeah, I'm definitely trying to do videos.
Taking it to the next level.
Yeah, and back to about videos. There's so much talent in Jacksonville. I'm sorry, I don't know if I messed it up.
No, you're good. You're not.
Man, I hope people listen to this podcast because there's so much talent in Jacksonville. There's so many people doing so much stuff as far as art. Cause I don't know about a bunch of scenes, but I do know that the art scene, the videography, and movies. My friend Walker Flocker on Instagram, he made me a video last year. It was me walking around Jacksonville. That thing blew up so sick, and so many people were like,
"You got to keep the content coming."
And it was he was 16 when he made it, but he's so talented. He made this video, and he sent me a snippet. Maybe it's a 16-second video. He sent me the first 5, and I was like, "Oh man, this is so sick!" And it was me walking to Drake. That was when God's Plan dropped, and I was like, "Walk! I don't care what you do, but make this work to God's plan." And he did, and it was so flawless. And he posted on his page. I got a lot of clout from that. A bunch of his people.
So we just started doing video this year. So we got a new video manager. Her name is Katie Hawker. She's pretty awesome behind the lens.
Yeah, let's do a video, y'all. Let's do a video, Katie.
Yeah, if you guys need any video help, just come to us, hit us in the DMs, or email us at WhatsGoodJax@gmail or info@WhatsGoodJax.com.
Just give them time to reply. They're busy people. Okay?
Yeah. Oh yeah. We'll be back with you within 48 hours.
Definitely.
That's usually our time frame.
Can I give one more video shout out though, real quick?
Oh, please do. Yeah.
Oh man, John Dang, XHONDANG. He's a filmmaker, for real.
John Dang.
Yeah, John Dang.
Dang.
Yeah, it's funny.
Please tell me he has Dang Good Productions or something.
I'll talk to him.
Man,
I'll try to make a call.
Coin that in some way. Dang good video.
Dang good video. There's some dang good stuff. Man. But he's shooting a movie right now. And who just shoots a movie, And
in Jax?
Yeah, he's shooting a movie. And that's why I love Jacksonville so much, because people they'll talk about stuff a lot, But oh man, I want to do this. I want to shoot movies. I want to do this and that. But he's actively out grinding and doing his thing. And it's not only is there like a bunch of doers in Jacksonville, but there's a bunch of inspiration. You know, it's easy to have people to inspire you to do stuff, but inspiration's cool. But are you gonna do it, or are you gonna be inspired to do it?
That's the difference between inspiration and discipline.
Yeah,
you'll find, the difference is like that's why I love building the team, because one of the things that like I realize is, you have life that gets in the way sometimes, even when you're admin, and life was getting in the way of when I posted a lot. It wasn't very planned out, so it was kind of sporadic. But when life got in the way, I need to be able to be more consistent. So that's why I had to build a team, because I couldn't do it all myself. But that's why you can't have life get in the way. It's not a matter of resources, as so they say. It's a matter of resourcefulness. So I love that quote. Right. That's so dope. I think I heard that from Tony Robbins. Like he was like commenting. He like was like doing this big inspirational speech, and he like Al Gore was like, I needed more votes, and he's like, no, you didn't. You would have been president if you were more resourceful. And he like told him that to his face. I love Tony Robbins. I love like all these motivational speakers. Like that's I dig on it a lot. I listen to a lot of audiobooks.
I dig that.
Yeah. So good time for a DJ turn up time.
Turn up, dog. Turn up.
Let's listen to some good jams. I feel like we need some beats in here.
Let's get ready to rumble!
Ooh.
Okay.
Ba-da-bop.
Break! 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 Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Oh yeah!
This coffee's got me so hyper.
Oh yeah!
Yeah. Bars.
How y'all feel out there? Drop that ghetto blaster!
Ghetto blaster. Bars.
Bars.
Is this like recording with Santi? So cool.
Dude, I like that shirt. Where's those threads from?
Man, I got this from a consignment store in St. Marco.
Thrift store all day.
Dude, I just got into thrifting. It's the bomb.
It is the bomb.
It is like, why pay $30 for a shirt when I could find one for $3?
No doubt. I love it. They're the best threads.
My friend Dylan got me into it. His name's Flip on Instagram.
Flip.
Yeah. He's making a killing on the whole flipping scene, though. Gary V followed him. That's crazy, right?
Back into it. Gary V followed Flip?
Yeah, man. It's wild. I saw that, and I was like, yo, I need to get to flipping. Flip.
The flippity. We got a lot of consignment shops that follow us on Instagram.
They're like, yo, shout us out.
I was going to say, I'm going to shout out a few people in a little bit.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So what's your plans for Jacksonville, man? Are you going to build a team? What's your strategy on keeping up with your Instagram? I know you're
like you said,
improving.
Like you said, man. I didn't mean to cut you off. My bad.
You're good.
Like you said, though, you can't. It's easier to do it if you have a team. But I want to build a team, and I want to do. I'm saying I want to. Back to that whole big.
You are.
Yeah, I am. It's just I don't know what to do with it because I don't necessarily want to open a coffee shop, but I want to do something. I gotta figure out what I want to do. That's really what it comes down to. I gotta pick a direction and just go. So.
Right. So are you gonna keep up with the 904 coffee page, or are you gonna try and branch out at some point?
I want it to be. You know what I really want though? What I want it to be eventually is I want 904 coffee to be just like the name, but I want to be able to I want this to be like a platform for people, artists, musicians, etc., who don't necessarily have like a big following or like they don't have a big old voice. Because I found this out, which is really weird. The followers I have, they're really into when I'm running my mouth. They're into that, and they listen to me and stuff. Even though some of the people in the scene, they have the same followers, they don't really, they don't really engage some of my other friends as much. Like I did a photo shoot with Duval Product Apparel, and I posted a little thing like, "Oh, go buy a shirt." From my friends over here, and I got people messaging me like, "Oh yeah, I went and bought this shirt," and it's so weird to me because I see that stuff all the time. I'm like, I'm not spending my money on anything, you know? But I like that because my followers, like the ones who like engage me, they listen. Not they listen to me and do what I say, but they care what I say, you know? So that's like a voice. That's like a big voice when people care. Like people
You
have...
call that influencing.
Yeah. I'm not an influencer, though.
You are. You're
I'm
an
not
influencer. You're on the podcast, aren't you?
I mean,
You got to step into the role at some point.
Yeah.
You know, it's one thing to have the name. It's another thing to do something with it, and you're doing something with it.
Oh,
you know,
man.
you're making action.
Yeah.
You make enough noise on your page so far. You've been doing it for 2 years, and
Oh, man.
you know you're making some weight.
I appreciate it.
So be in the moment, man. Enjoy that.
Yeah.
Enjoy that.
That's what I want. I want to be able to like put people on, you know? Because I understand. I mean, I don't get how I can't relate how some people they make music, they make art, they do this and they do that, and they're trying to put themselves out there. They're trying to get their name out there, but it's hard because there's so many people doing it.
That's because they're not resourceful. Like a lot of people are selfish with their intentions, and that's what you just said is put people on. It's easy to there's something called the law of reciprocation, where if you do enough for other people want to do more for you.
Wow.
So that was what our whole premise was with WhatsGoodJax. You know, we're kind of trying to be selfless out there. I'm not over here knocking people's heads over for you know trying to get money for no reason. We're over here putting people on in Jacksonville and doing our best. That's what we try to do, is rep the city the best we can, be genuine, bro. Yeah. You know, so you just help enough people, you get what you want. So I mean, if people are genuine, that's what really ends up building the brand. Yeah. More than anything, the representation of the brand. Man. You know.
Heck yeah, that's so cool. But that's about it. Just because so many people have helped me. They've just, like I said, like Nate just put me on to do it like this. And he showed me how to like post and to find the people who would like follow me. And he started helping me out. Dusty Nomad, he was like, I'll do this for you. Started helping me out. And it wouldn't be fair. It wouldn't even be right, you know, if I didn't use the voice I have to help others, you know?
Exactly. And that's another point to it, is a lot of people, they, you know, if you want to build your Instagram page and you're not engaging with other pages, you know, so like what we do is we genuinely engage. We don't have like bots that go out and like go on and comment on people's pages or like people's photos. Like you see a lot of, I'm not going to mention any names, a lot of pages do, you know, you'll see like pages be everywhere at the same time. Yeah. You know, most of the time they have bots that do it, and that's cool, you know, for liking, but you know, I like to be able to engage on a real level. If you tag us in our post and you see us like it, we are actually liking it. You know, we're enjoying the photos that we see. So I'd say, you know, and genuinely engage with people. So what if you go on Instagram and you see like a notification pop up, what excites you more, seeing a like or seeing a comment box?
Man, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not even gonna lie to you right now. I love seeing likes. It's like, it gets me going. Like, oh man, something like my picture, solid. But
when you see that comment box on, like if you have
the comment,
usually you'll see like when you go back to your Instagram, it's like 15. Like for us, it's like 105 likes. That's so cool. Then what I really like is seeing the comments, people engaging, because that shows a lot of times they actually read the post. Yeah, not just look at the picture. You know, we like to try and put some information out there, so people that read the post. And that's another thing we do when we go out and engage on. We don't just look at the picture. We try to like read the post, see what people are about. Yeah. You know, so it's a true engagement, true like, you know, reach out to your audience. So they say you can't be a friend. Be a friend if you want to make a friend. Yeah. You know, and plus it helps your algorithm. Oh, definitely. You know, if you comment on somebody's post and they like it or they comment back, you know, chances are they're going to see your post on their feed quicker. You know what I mean? So that's another way if y'all want to know how to freaking build your Instagram page up. You know, don't just post pictures and expect people to just come by the herd. You know, you have to engage. Yeah. Engagement first is key. But and just keep at it. You know,
definitely engagement is so important.
So you talked earlier about starting your own podcast. Are you still thinking about? Are you like how serious are you about doing that? Because I think it's a great idea for you to start your own like 904 coffee podcast and maybe like do like maybe even go out to the like the local roasters or like the local coffee shops. Maybe even set up there and do it. That'd be sweet. And you test out different coffees.
Yeah, man, look, I was thinking about it, and then I got here today, and I wish people could see what I'm seeing right now because it's so cool in here. Like, they got this light, and it's like spinning around the room, and they got Albert. That's Al. He's looking at me. Albert Einstein, like looking at me. It's so fresh.
And try to set the vibe.
Yes, it's so vivacious. Is that a word?
It is now.
Yeah, cool. I like it. It's so vivacious in here, and it makes me really. They got microphones everywhere. They got a DJ, and it's so funny because I was thinking so much smaller, but now it's like, oh man, there's so much stuff you can do.
Man, we didn't start off this way though. I'll tell you, we started off rough.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like the same thing. Just build small, and then it was like, how did I get Jamie here? I had to start somewhere. I didn't think I was even having Jamie. So even the kind of the story me finding Jamie was is kind of a funny story. So I believe in manifestation, right?
Yeah.
Like calling things in the universe, and God will provide whatever. So I don't know your religion, but so like I listen to a lot of Joe Rogan, as he's like the most watched person on the internet right now. Joe Rogan podcast is like the most famous show. I think they get bigger numbers than the Super Bowl, which is crazy.
That's crazy.
But or at least like a usual Sunday game. But anyway, he was talking about like he has a Jamie that does like all of his audio.
Yeah.
And so like I was kind of stressing because like, man, I really need like somebody to plug in and help me with the audio because to be honest with you, I'm not very technical savvy. So a lot of this is very technical, bro. So like I ended up like, dude, throwing up a prayer like a week after we started the He Is For Real, like DJ Jackson. Sorry, DJ Jackson.
DJ Jackson.
Yeah. So anyway, like a week later, I ended up finding Jamie on Facebook. He found me, and so it's weird that like I was looking for an audio guy, and DJs, obviously are big into audio and helping out with that.
Yeah.
He came in here and we kind of clicked up immediately. So he's helped put together a lot of this stuff. So big shout out to DJ Jackson for helping set up all this.
Thanks, DJ Jackson.
Yeah, thank you, DJ Jackson.
You're the best.
Aw, now that would have been a good all moment.
We love you, DJ Jackson.
Yeah, standing ovation. All right, speaking of DJ Jackson, I think it's a good time to insert turn up time and get frisky. This is so cool. I like this beat. See, this is what I'm talking about. I like these like inspirational beats. Sometimes like when I'm building WhatsGoodJax, I'll just sit here and listen to, inspirational chill step beats.
Yeah.
Gets my mind right.
Your mind's gotta be right, man.
All right. Man, this is a good freestyle little beat. I ain't gonna lie.
16 bars. Let's go right now. Give them to me.
Uh-oh.
No, I'm just joking.
16. Yeah.
No, I'm just joking.
Tit for tat over here?
Now I was gonna say, if you do, I can't give them back for you.
Yeah. That's all good.
I am black, though, I promise. I am black.
We don't always freestyle in here, but when we do, it's all about loosening up and having fun.
Yeah.
Definitely not about the bars always.
Thank goodness. It's so funny because I have a brother, and he's like super the exact opposite of me. He was born and raised in Detroit, so he's got a little more like grit to him. And when people meet us like side by side, it's
Y'all related?
Oh yeah, it's like night and day. Cover like the button-ups and stuff, and like
I'll take it your day.
yeah. People have asked me that. It's so funny. Yeah. And I'm like, we have the same mom,
Oh yeah.
So Jacob,
Oh
you believe in aliens, sir?
Do you believe in
Do you believe in aliens?
I do
Just
not.
curious. I always ask.
No, I don't believe in aliens.
Yeah, not enough proof out there.
No, it's just not something I think about a whole lot. I don't believe in aliens, though.
No.
No.
Do you believe we went to the moon?
I believe that, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cool. We haven't been back to the moon since 1972. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I do wonder why sometimes we haven't been back to the moon since our technology has like 100x since then.
Yeah.
I
I like to watch the short ones. I don't have a very long attention span.
yeah.
So, like, if it's longer than 5 minutes, I won't watch it. But, like, that's something funny to think about. We haven't been back. I don't know, man. But I do believe they have been. I haven't been. But if people say it's fake and they have, like, solid evidence.
Question. Okay, so place yourself 40 years in the future right now, okay? And we have the ability to take a cheap flight to space. Would you go?
Oh, man. Would I go? One half of me says no. I wouldn't go. But I would, in like 80 years, I would go.
In like 80 years?
Yeah.
So like in 40, you don't think that we're going to be advanced enough to not crash?
Yeah, because you know how like when the first iPhone drops, like the X will drop,
Bro,
but it'll blow up on your face, right?
I think we're going to have safe flight in 40 years, hopefully, to space.
Yeah, I mean, I
Kinda
believe
hope
it.
so.
But I'll go on the second, like when they re-release the flights.
After beta testing.
Yeah, after the beta test, then I'll get my ticket, my coach ticket.
Yeah, you coach.
Yeah.
Shoot, I'd rather be flying first class.
Yeah, it was that J. Cole said we're all going to the same. I don't know, maybe it was J. Cole.
We're all going
flying
to the same destination.
place. Yeah,
Yeah.
you know, if I can afford the ticket.
Yeah. We'll see. And supposedly we're going to have flying cars here in the next 10 years. We'll see.
I feel like I was promised flying cars like now.
Right?
Was that in Back to the Future? Shouldn't cars be flying?
Yeah. In Back to the Future. Well, I don't know if was it Back to the Future? Yeah, I mean, at least we had They had hoverboards by then.
Yeah, and we got those lame version hoverboards.
We have the technology. Would you guys please just release it already so we can have our hoverboards and flying cars? I mean, it's not that hard.
Would Jacksonville? Here's the question though: could Jacksonvillians? Is that what they call from Jacksonville?
Yeah.
Jacksonvillians.
Duvalians, Jackson.
Duval. Yeah.
Have you let out your first Duval yet?
Oh yeah. I was letting out the Duval
Let's say if
before I
not,
got
you're
to
definitely
Duval.
going to do it on the podcast today.
Oh, we can do it, man.
No, you already let it out. You
Yeah.
can't.
I mean, I haven't let it out. I was lying. No, I'm just joking.
No, okay. That's
But
cool.
can the people of Jacksonville can they drive their flying cars better than they drive their
They
driving?
definitely won't be using their blinkers.
Yeah. I saw you post that thing.
Oh, that was a repost from Only in Duval. Speaking of which, shout out to Only in Duval
Shout
for
out
making
to them.
some of the best memes in Jacksonville alongside What's Good Jax.
I love Only in Duval.
I did too. Their page is freaking hilarious.
Yeah, and you know I like them because I don't know, like whoever was running it. It's back when I used to text and drive. Don't text and drive, y'all. Don't IG and drive. Like, be careful.
Not even in a Tesla.
Not even in your, especially not in your Tesla. Whatever car you got that's flying, don't even do it. But they told me, like, get off your phone, put your seatbelt on. I was like, okay,
Only in Duval did?
yeah. I don't know who it was, but they sent me a message. They said, yo, get off your phone. I used to like, do like my videos if I was driving, and then they were like, hey, quit. And then I was
You're
like,
an influencer now. Don't influence kids to drive.
right, great power,
And
great
video.
responsibility.
Exactly, man. You gotta watch yourself.
Gotta watch
I
myself.
post stuff all the time. I'm like, this is gonna go great, and then one of my teammates will be like, hey, that's kind of offensive to say. Like, I'll even post like something that's like on National Women's Day. Yeah, I put like this post. It was like 40 women who like changed their lives. It was basically like women getting in shape, like losing weight. I thought that was like a good post. I was like, oh, okay, women said like,
Yeah.
they're taking their life back. And then they're like, yeah, it's offensive now to post anything about people getting in shape because you're fat shaming people. I'm like, I'm fat.
Yeah, I'm
Like,
fat. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not fat shaming people. I just think it's cool when people set a goal and go after it. It doesn't matter what it is. You know what I mean? It's like, I like to see, because I have 2 daughters myself. I want to see them go out and, yeah, I got, I'm 30. I'll be 30 this month.
Are you really?
Dude, yeah.
I thought you were like 27.
I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
No, but yeah, I'll be 30 on April 27th.
Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah. It's a freaking big 3-0.
The big 3-0. You turned 15 twice, man. That's crazy.
Oh man, don't even say it like
Okay.
that. Don't even say it like that. It sounds so worse that way. That's funny.
Can we talk about that though? That
Yeah.
like that fat shaming kind of thing.
Yeah, please do.
Not just like fat shaming, but like the whole
Any
being
shaming.
offended. Yeah, any shaming. Oh, cool. Cause I'm fat, kinda. I'm fat,
You're not fat, bro.
dude. No, I'm. No, oh man, I'm so into this right now. But it's tough. I'm not coming at you, but the whole fat shaming thing. It's like, at what point are you telling someone, like you should be in better shape? Because you can be fat and still be healthy, but some people are like really, really big, and it's bad for their health.
Well, it's the same thing about like when okay, so like if you care about someone, it depends, and again, it's all about your intention a lot of times.
Yeah.
Because people like if I'm over here and I'm chain smoking cigarettes,
Mm-hmm.
right, and I'm like coughing, and you can hear me obviously like it's stressing out from breathing.
Yeah.
And I go out and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna smoke another cigarette, right? I'm breathing all heavy, like I sleep apnea and stuff like that. If I go outside and I'm smoking another cigarette, if you're my true friend, are you gonna step up and be like, yo, bro, put the cigarettes down, please, man. You're not doing good for your body.
Yeah.
The thing is, more people die every year from obesity than they do from smoking and lung cancer. So that's a long. That is a super long sound effect. Is that going to stop soon? Man, it felt like Darth Vader was in the room right over my shoulder for a second.
Yeah, but yeah, it's like you said, it's really important. I forgot what you said.
No, it's just basically saying that obesity kills more people, especially in the United States, than anything else.
Yeah,
I think like 52. I don't know if it's like 1,000 people die a year from obesity,
that's
or
so
like,
wild to me.
or more than that. I believe it's like something astronomical. We can look that up later, but y'all fact check that. But check it out. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah,
number one killer.
That's crazy.
Heart disease.
But yeah, like you have that end of the spectrum. The what?
Spectrum.
The spectrum of being like too fat. But then you have the other end where it's like, oh, now you're too thin. But when you're like in shape or whatever you want to call it, they're like, oh, you're fat shaming me. Like I'm not sexy fat shaming. And I know it.
Well, okay, so like 90% of disease starts in the gut, right? So I've recently had to start like learning about this stuff, because when you get to like your 30s, you don't realize like your digestive, so people start getting, especially men, they start having digestive health issues.
Yikes.
And some of that has to do, of course, a lot of it has to do with your diet, but a lot of it has to do with stress. We don't realize that stress attacks your body so significantly. You have something called oxidative stress levels, and when you eat, especially like a lot of high preservatives and stuff like that, so your body gets into like this rhythm of just basically, especially when you sit down for long periods of time, like I do, like you have to like, your body's like a pump. So if you sit down for long periods of time, you eat bad. You start stressing more over building things and stuff like that. You stop breathing less. Did you know that we eliminate most of our stress and our bacteria in our body from breathing? Like 70% of our stress comes from like not breathing correctly.
That's so weird. I had no idea.
Yeah. So there's a guy that I looked up. It's called Wim Hof. And I've talked about him on the podcast quite a few times, but I like to talk about this kind of subject because it really is imperative to like our health. Is just taking the time every morning before we grab our phones, before we do anything. And it's not even a matter of prayer or meditation, but just sitting there quietly, and breathing, and just soaking in the moment, and especially in the morning, because that you're just coming out of like a sleep state, and so your mind is very susceptible, and it just really impacts your day of how you get started. So definitely, I mean, that, and then cold showers I've found, really? And I've said that again. So it's like a combination, like a 1-2 punch is like, and it's even better if you live near the beach, like people that live at the beach, because the salt and the water is so good for you. They like cleanse you. So if you can just jump out, like if you live at the beach, just get out every morning and go straight into the ocean. That would be like, that's the best thing you can do for yourself, because it like re-energizes your immune system. It helps with your digestion, with your your, what do you call that, your not digestion, your metabolism.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it helps kickstart your metabolism as well. Cool. Because your body's like, it's got like electricity in it, which is weird, like a chi. Yeah. And then like when you go into salt for whatever reason, it really helps. Yeah. So like I did a sleep deprivation tank at the Float Idea off University. It's like a sleep deprivation tank. Yeah. It only has like a foot of water in it, but you float to the top because it has so much salt in it. Like it has like 1,000 pounds of salt in it in one tank that you float to the top. You're so buoyant you can't sink if you wanted to. Yeah. So, but like when I got out of it, I did a 90-minute float, but you feel so like clean. Like I don't know, something about salt is good for your soul. And you get like, I don't know, it's good for you. I just say that breathing is very important. So
breathing's
like
cool.
I don't know how we got on the tangent. Just I'm thinking about obesity and digestion. We just want to see people healthy. Like I'm trying to get my health back for my digestive. So walking, breathing, cold showers, and eating.
Shout out to breathing, you guys.
Try not to shout out to breathing.
Shout out to breathing.
Shout out to the most simplest thing you can do is breathe.
Don't forget to breathe.
Right.
Yeah. But no, man. I'm super excited that we started talking about this, because personally, a lot of my followers, I try to like tell them, hey, if you guys have like these body issues, what's it called, like body dysmorphia? Like you really hate your body. Yeah. I tell them, I'm like, yo, no one gets it. I mean, I don't say no one gets it like me, but I super understand Because like when I look at myself, like every day, it's like, yo, you're so fat. And it's like, I know it's weird because you know what I'm saying? Like, I know I'm not really fat.
But, also what you tell yourself is...
Right.
It's weird because you can even start telling yourself, like, I'm super skinny, and your body, like, reacts to it. So it might even digest faster. Like, if you are what you essentially tell yourself internally, not even what you say to other people. So, like, it has no meaning what you tell. If I tell you one thing, but I feel different internally,
exactly.
I could tell you, like, I could look confident on the outside all day, but inside I could be very, like feeble and very, like... just uncertain of myself,
So straight up, so much fact. What you're saying right now.
But
oh man,
it's all about what you say to yourself. Man.
Yeah, thoughts
your
become
your
things
head voice.
for real.
Yeah,
Thoughts
exactly.
become
And that's why I preach that same message. It's one thing to have the knowledge, but like until you can be mindful of how you speak to yourself, like that's when your life will really change. Like you want to take it exponentially. Like it could take you 10 years, or you can just be mindful in the moment and then instantly wake up to, and be the best you now just by, changing the way you speak to yourself. It takes repetition though. So I'll say like, even like one of the things I started doing was recording myself. Really? Like, because like they say, keep a journal and a diary, right? And that's one way. And a lot of people agree with that most because writing stuff down is kind of like a meditation for them. But I find it more truthful with myself if I just hit record and I just listen to myself, and then hear it back afterwards. Because if you hear the voice inflection of like you can kind of tell your emotional state at that time. So you can't really lie to yourself if you can pick up on those pains in your voice too. So if you go through the situations, like when I'll be stressed out, even like WhatsGoodJax, I'm trying to do all these things and manifest all these things, and I get stressed out because I'm doing a lot of projects. I'm trying to keep my focus. And I recognize that my internal head voice isn't always positive to myself. As we stated earlier, I'm my own worst critic. But at the end of the day, it's just because I'm trying to reach my standards. Right. But the difference is, of shaming yourself to saying I'm stupid, I can't do this. That is a whole different aspect of just saying I could be better. Right. It's a different way of looking at it, and I just think that it makes so much of a difference that it's critical to assess yourself in the beginning before you start even down these little paths that you're trying to do all these things and pull all these things into your life. If you want to run a company, before you even start into running a company or being an entrepreneur or whatever, make sure that you have your head voice on right. If you do that, then most of the battle's won. Because you can give up really quick if you have the wrong mindset. You can go from inspiration to feeling overwhelmed and tired really fast. Oh yeah, man. You know what I mean? So head voice is definitely important, but it's like I said, recording yourself gives you the ability to what they call overstand yourself. Okay. Like a lot of people try to understand. You're better at giving advice to other people than you are receiving your own advice. Yeah. A lot of people, because you don't understand, you don't trust your own judgment because you don't know yourself as much. But if you listen back to yourself, it's weird how like you'll go through situations that you're complaining about and you're recording it and then listen to it back later and you're like, damn. They coin it as what they call overstanding. So it's like if you're understanding something, it's like you're on the ground and you're looking up to the sky at your problems. Yeah. Right? And you're looking at the sky at yourself. Instead of like trying to attract more stuff to yourself to distract you, like if you can overstand it by like pulling your fears away, if you can brush off all the emotional ties you have to something and just trust and have the faith and not the hope, you instill faith that, as long as you're working, the more effort that you put in, the more effort the universe is providing, God is putting into giving you, what you're sowing. So it's like, if you can put yourself over the situation and not focus on the problems, but focus on the solution. Yeah. Be a solution driven person and not focus on the problems. Like, again, focusing on the problems are just going to reflect more problems, because if you say like, it's what you focus on expands. That's very true. Oh yeah. It's like, if you focus on, God, I'm fat. I'm like, I don't feel good today. Yeah. If you don't even, they say the placebo effect is so strong that like, if you wake up and you're not feeling good that day, for whatever reason, if you wake up that morning and say, I had so much sleep last night, I'm feeling so well rested. Even if you only got 2 hours of sleep, you're gonna have more energy throughout the day just because you said that out loud. Man,
I gotta try that.
It's true. I mean, it's the inherent behavior that we can change. You know what I mean? It's really cool. Like, you can really train yourself. It's as they say, it's not your condition that you're in, it's your conditioning. So change your conditioning and your condition will change. Man. Spiritually, physically, emotionally, being well balanced is key.
Balance is key.
Balance. But how do you gain it? You just got to put it into practice.
Yeah.
If you ask somebody, hey, do you meditate? People are like, yeah, I meditate. It's so funny how you ask somebody if they meditate. And like, okay, when's the last time you meditated? Put a date on it. What was the last time? They'd be like, well, it's like, it's like, really, truthfully, it's been a long time, right? Mm-hmm. So they say that you're supposed to meditate every day for at least 1 hour.
Wow.
You know, if whether that be in the morning or at night. They say, unless you're busy. If you're a busy person, then you have to meditate for more than an hour.
Wow.
Right? Just like, well, where do I have the time to do that? Dog, find the time. You better find the time.
Yeah.
You know? Because it's like running a phone all day long. It's like running an iPhone on Windows 98. If you don't like update your software, like you have 70,000 thoughts throughout the day. And what's weird about that is they say like over 90% of those are the same thoughts you had from the day before. Mm-hmm. So it's a pattern.
Yeah.
You know, you only have an original like 5,000 thoughts throughout the day.
That's crazy.
So focus on, exactly. So that's real numbers. So
wow.
If you take and you say, well, now I can focus in my thoughts. If you can be mindful and shift your paradigm. And I say the best way of doing that is by overstanding yourself, but keep the good people around you. No doubt we are the median of the people we hang around. So change your circle, change your life.
Yeah, man, that's super important.
Big things happen in small circles. You know, take massive action, constant correction, but most people are afraid to step up to the plate.
Yeah.
With themselves too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not even like externally. It's all about your personal goals.
Yeah. I heard something the other day one of my friends told me.
What?
It's kind of back to what you said about the circles. Mm-hmm. Don't be afraid. I don't want to sound like a jerk when I say this, but don't be afraid to, you know, not cut off friends. Oh, here's a better way. You outgrow people, you know. My mom she's taught me that too. It's like you can't, if they're not changing, you know, the people you're around, if they're not growing also, then, and you feel like you are growing, like you feel like you're getting kind of distant from people, mm-hmm. and that's not like an awful thing, because it's just kind of like you grow and they're staying the same. Sometimes you just outgrow people, and it sounds bad, you know. I don't think it does. I mean, and they have to understand too. Yeah.
You know, I think it's all about your attitude. But I know what you're saying. It doesn't sound bad to me though.
Okay, cool. Because it's like I've been having that feeling, man. I hope my friends don't hear this and think like I'm tripping or like I'm ditching them, but not like it's just really weird, you know, because you maybe you're trying to like learn a new skill, you're doing stuff, you're trying to learn a language, or you're trying to progress, and they're doing the same thing that they've been doing. You kind of start to lose the time you had to. Well,
I mean, any real friend will look at what you're doing and appreciate the fact that you're reaching in new circles. Not that you're leaving the old ones behind, but they say that, you know, if you're the smartest man in the room, then you're in the wrong room.
Yo, my teacher who told me to leave where I was at, mm-hmm. he said that same thing to me. And, you know, I thought about it. And I thought about it one day, and I was in a room with people, and I thought about them. And I'm like, yo, I got to get out of here, because those people who, like, I was chilling with, now they're like, some of them are in jail.
But you know what they call that? It's a hunger. There's a hunger inside of that's inside of you that says, you know, it's like when a hermit crab feels pain. It's not because, you know, he's dying. It's because you need it to leave the old shell behind. It's a pain signal is a sign of growth. Mm-hmm. It's a growth signal. Some people can interpret it as a bad thing, and some people can take it as a calling sign to say, hey, you know, change your circle up a little bit. It's not a bad thing to break the chains of your past. You know, there's a book I read, and it's a Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, and it addresses this very topic, and I really like their perspective, I would say, on the matter. It's like they say you should spend 70% of your time, or 50% of your time with mentors, people that are over you, or like at least like striving, you know, find the mentors. 50% of your time, and then 30% of your time hang with people that are like on the same level as you. Yeah. You know, but that leaves 20% of your time to hang out and influence other people under you. Yeah. You know, so it's not like you have to look at it necessarily. You affect people in a good way too. If you can change your vibration and raise your vibration, it's good for everyone that knows you on a personal level too. You can't do for others unless you do for yourself. And the best way you can feed yourself is by going out there and being a hunter. You know, if you don't have the people hunting with you, then, you know, maybe they're not really your true friends anyway, you know? So you know, that you want the best for your friends, but at the same time, you're in control of your own life. You don't have to forget where you came from, but you know, you have to end up focusing on where you're going and not where you're growing and where you're going, not where you're at, and staying stagnant. You know,
Focus on where you're growing.
Focus on where you're growing. There you go.
That's cool.
I like it. Yeah, I didn't mean to say that. I was like, just kind of misspell words, but
Dude, no, it's sick.
I like it.
Yeah, it was sick.
And on that note,
So deep.
on that deep note, we're gonna have a Timmy turn up time. DJ, turn that up.
This should be played at high volume, preferably in a residential area.
Like we always do about this time.
So we're at just over the hour mark. We can keep going into it. We can go into a freestyle, do a wrap up. He said, "Oh, get you prepared. You ain't scared. That's all right. We're keeping this podcast clean today. No, we keep it pretty clean.
I appreciate.
We're not like an R-rated podcast on here. We're just we try to get people loose, and if they cuss on here, man, it's just we don't take the time to go back and edit it out.
Yeah.
You know, we just we let it ride, and sometimes more slips out than usual, especially if we have a podcast that where you know people are drinking or something like that. But
Yeah.
you know, no vodka shots in our coffee today. We're straight on caffeine. Well, we are just past the 1 hour mark. That means that we're going to be doing our nightly wrap up. This is where our DJ gets on the track, drops us a beat, and we just have to go to it. 16 bars.
Paint the city red.
Paint the city. Bars. Shia line. Yeah. Jacksonville, you know you gonna miss me. Drinking iced coffee, so I'm tipsy. Rest in peace, Nipsey. I'm feeling right. Got my podcast tonight. Jacob from the 904 coffee. He's a one original you can't copy. So fresh at Starbucks, he's like, get this cash off me. I'm at my podcast, hanging with the lobby. Hanging with the lobby.
That's sick.
Yeah.
That's a new catchphrase. What are you doing, guys? You know, hanging with the lobby.
Yeah, hanging with the lobby.
Hanging with the lobby. That's my next caption, I promise.
Well, Jacob, I want to thank you for coming out today. Shout out to 904 Coffee. You guys go on their Instagram, follow everything they do. I promise you will not be disappointed. Their stories are lit.
No, man, thanks for being like the first podcast like to let me come on here and run my mouth. Super appreciated. It means a lot to me that I even mattered enough.
Man, you gotta come back. We're only getting better from here, so we'll have more. We'll definitely have more.
Oh.
Go out and spread the good, man. Just go out and spread the good. And I can't wait for this podcast to drop.
I'm so excited. I hope all my followers, I hope all your followers, you got like 1 billion followers.
Come on.
They're all going to listen to this. It's going to be the most syndicated podcast in the country.
We're
Probably
sponsored.
the world, to be honest.
You know, it's weird. I could go back into how Instagram doesn't like us, but they don't like anybody, you know?
Yeah.
Their algorithm's so jacked up.
It's
But
wild.
anyway, thank you for coming on the podcast. We're going to end it here. If you guys want to, just go on. And what's the best way to reach out to you? Is it Instagram? Or is
Oh,
it
yeah. Shoot me a message. I will definitely. There's a 100% chance that I will message you back.
100. And it won't be 28 hours later, 24 hours, whatever. Y'all go down. Shout out 904 Coffee. Thank you guys. Shout out to DJ Jackson.
Yo.
You guys go out and follow him. It's JAXCIN. As always, share the good.
Let's get it poppin' in Jacksonville with the black and the teal. When we get